jump into affirmative scroll first and then negative. Okay? All right, here we go.
All right, so we're going to be talking about the ethics of vivisection. If you guys do not know what vivisection is, it is the practice of surgery on living animals, from Latin-based words. Vivos, I think it is, for living, and vivisection to separate. I'm going to split this up into two sections. I'm going to talk about the philosophical aspect of it as well as the numbers part of it. Firmly, I'm believing right now, or I'm stating right now, that vivisection is a cruel and inefficient way to produce human medicine. Vivisection is primarily used for experimenting to find like pills or medicine or cures for like cancer, AIDS, HIV, and as well as like other things like cosmetics and makeup and all that other stuff. So it has like a wide variety of what it's used for. So firstly, I'm stating that vivisection is cruel. And this is my part of my philosophical argument here, that animals are not necessarily ours to experiment on. Based on this argument, we are all animals, we are all mammals, based off of what the definition of a mammal is. And as mammals, or as humans, when we experiment on one another, when we check on each other, when we go to the doctors, when we go to the dentist, when we do anything, it is all based on the consent of the experiment. So us. Like, as far as who's giving consent, it's going to be the one who's going to be treated on. Throughout evolution, it is easily understandable that we are the top dogs of evolution because we pretty much rule the world. And it is only morally acceptable for consent, blah, blah, blah. I said all that, my bad. So outside of humans, though, the animal's strongest instinct is the instinct to survive. Their sole purpose of living is to live. And vivisection forcefully removes that purpose. I'm here to question, like, who's to say that we are the ones that have that right to take it away? So what if we're on the top of the chain? Is that really something we can do, and is it something we should be doing? Secondly, animals experience fear, pain, depression, and trauma. It's very misunderstood that animals don't experience these things. I mean, yeah, they experience pain, but as far as depression and trauma, I have somebody named Nancy Beck. She was in the PLOS One scientific journal titled Ethical and Scientific Considerations Regarding Animal Testing and Research. She says, animals share genetic, neuroanatomical, and physiological similarities with humans, and many animals express pain in ways similar to humans. Animals also share similarities with humans in genetic, developmental, and environmental risk factors for psychopathology. For example, fear operates in a less organized subcortical neural circuit than pain, and it has been described in a wide variety of species. More complex markers of psychological distress have also been described in animals. Varying forms of depression have been repeatedly reported in animals, including non-human primates, dogs, pigs, cats, birds, and rodents, among others. Anxiety disorders such as post-traumatic stress disorder have been described in animals, including chimpanzees and elephants. Slowly I'm beginning to see, as far as those researchers, like maybe they're not so different. Maybe they don't have like the choices we do. However, they experience pain, they experience trauma in the same light. I took this statistic from a site called statisticsbrain.com, which took its information from the Animal Welfare Society. 31% of animals tested are euthanized to avoid pain. The only way to see how much pain they're going through is while they're in the test. So this is, wow, they're hurting too much, let's kill them. My second point is more of a numbers game. Vivisection is inefficient. The overwhelming result of animal-tested medicines are failures. This is taken from Christopher Anreg, who he wrote a critical look at animal experimentation, or him and many other doctors wrote this. He says, indeed, according to the FDA, a staggering 92% of all drugs found safe and therapeutically effective in animal tests failed during human clinical trials due to their toxicity or inefficacy. and are therefore not approved. Therefore, over half of the mere 8% of drugs which do gain FDA approval must later be withdrawn or relabeled due to severe unexpected side effects. Very simply put, you can test on animals, however, it's no guarantee for success on humans. I'm going to skip ahead here and just say that vivisection is not only the method to test experimental medicine, so not only is it inefficient, but there are other ways to test different medicines and different goods, such as nanotoxologists. They're conducting in vitro studies using animal and human cells to characterize the basic chemical and physical properties of nanomaterials, which doesn't hurt animals. So, in conclusion, we should totally stop that.
You're all right. It's all good. Okay, hold on, stay there. So Ryan, you get to go ahead and question.
All right. Oh boy. In my argument, I more argued on non-surgical experimentation on animals. So I guess would that be okay to do if it was not harmful?
Actually, it's not purely because of mentioned earlier that they experience fear, pain, depression, and trauma. There are, I read of one specific instance where in August last year they decided to sew kittens' eyes shut just to see if it would cure lazy eye. And yeah, that is an emotional argument, and I don't like relying on that. But even though the kittens may not have experienced direct pain and there was no like surgery, there was extreme stress and anxiety afterward.
So, would you say that testing on animals for the benefit of curing, say, AIDS, cancer, even curing diseases for other animals or helping other animals, would that, it's just a no-go in general, or?
A no-go in general purely because of the fact that 98% of the tests have failed, according to my numbers. The other thing is, some of the things that I would have mentioned, it's mainly cultural toxicology or something along those lines. It has an 85% success rating among humans, and it doesn't require the testing upon animals. So it's mainly the fact that we have other options. It's just federal funding as well as just like money in general goes right into animal testing, not so much the alternatives.
Got a few more seconds. Any other questions?
Damn, all right.
Okay, I'll help you out. Okay, yeah, animals, not to be disrespectful to animals, I will, but they can't reason. So yes, they feel pain, but doesn't at some point the life of humans trump the life of an animal? So if they can't reason, so if they're being hurt, they can't reason and sit here and go, oh, this person is hurting me, and I'm being used for animal experimentation. I mean, they can't reason. So what do you say about that? Are they more valuable than human life?
I wouldn't say they're more valuable, however, I wouldn't say they're less valuable either. I'm not going to argue that it's equal. However, the fact that they can cope with the idea that there is such a thing as pain, they may not be able to reason the specifics of it, like why they're going through the pain. However, it is their core instinct to survive and to be free. And it really comes down to us, because we do have that, that ability to reason. Should we use that ability to reason to take away that
But
basic instinct?
they can't reason. Now this is what I'm doing. Again, I have to have some clash here. They can't reason that they're not free. So if you say that that's their basic instinct to be free, if they can't reason, then how do they know whether they're free or not? If they can't reason and they're not aware.
Who's to say that they can't reason, and when they are being held down, they know they're not free? If there is any struggle at all, which there is when it comes to animals, especially primal animals, holding them down, any animal, they do resist. With that resist, there is some sort of maybe not logical, maybe not reasoning to the fact that they do not want that.
Okay, all right, I'm satisfied.
Wait, did you say that, the animal testing, like say you found medicine and it cured some disease in the animal, that's not guaranteed to cure it in the human?
Most likely not.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, you can have a seat now. Okay, Andrew. So remember, Andrew is also the affirmative. And, yeah, if you want. And then